Hey, it's Donna from the Ingalls Memorial Library, and welcome back to Behind the Book Book Talks, the series where I talk to you about the book that I'm currently reading in hopes that one day you will check it out and read it for yourself. And here we are, it's almost Memorial Day weekend, and that's the unofficial start of summer. And spring wasn't the best this year, so summer should be awesome. As I mentioned last week, summer is the time where I just like to grab a book and a lawn chair and hang outside. So I've got a stack of books to be read, but this year I'm starting my summer with a reread of one of my favorite books, The Life and Times of the Thunderbolt Kid by Bill Bryson. It's his memoir. I don't know if you're familiar with Bill Bryson, but he wrote my absolute favorite nonfiction book that I've ever read, and that's A Walk in the Woods. The Rediscovering America on the Appalachian Trail. And I don't know, I'm not a hiker, but every time I read this book, which will make me laugh out loud no matter how many times I read it, I want to hike the Appalachian Trail. I'm not big on being out in nature. Well, I like being outside, but I'm not really big on nature. And nope, don't want to see a bear. But if you have not read this book, you have to read it. And if you've seen the movie, which was horrible, and hated the movie, then forget all about it, pretend you didn't see it, and read this book. Because really, truly, it is one of the funniest books that you'll ever read about the Appalachian Trail, and maybe about anything. One of my faves. So anyways, what else did Bill Bryson write? He writes a real strange variety of things. He wrote One Summer, which was America in 1927. It's what happened and what didn't happen during that summer. And it's a great read, very informative. I would recommend that one. He wrote The Lost Continent, which is an unsparing and hilarious account of one man's discovery of America's heartland and his search for the perfect small town. And if you're watching this, I'm guessing you live in Ringe, so you understand small town life, so I would highly recommend this book. Bill Bryson has one of the best senses of humor, but it's a subtle sense of humor. So you just find yourself laughing. It sneaks up on you. So The Lost Continent is a great one to start with. The Sunburned Country is his book about Australia. So I think you might like that one. It's in a sunburned country. I have not read this one, but if you have any interest in learning about Australia, I'm guessing it would be a great choice, great place to start. He wrote I'm a Stranger Here Myself. And this is Notes on Returning to America After Being Away for 20 years. He did move to the UK for a while, so when he came back, this is his observations of some of the strange things that we do in America, and that's always worth reading about. And the last one that that we have in the library of his is a short history of nearly everything. And this was his 3-year quest to learn a little bit about everything that he didn't really understand. So on the back it said he doesn't know what a proton was, or a protein, didn't know a quark from a quasar, didn't know how an atom was put together, and couldn't imagine by what means anyone deduced such a thing. And at some point in his life, he decided there was a lot of these little things that he didn't know that he thought would be worth knowing. So he sought out experts and asked all kinds of dumb questions. He spent 3 years doing that, and then he put together this book. And again, his sense of humor makes any book that he's written worth writing. So, The Life and Times of the Thunderbolt Kid is his memoir. He was born in the 1950s, so he's a baby boomer. He lived in the middle of the United States in Des Moines, Iowa, and he was born in the middle of the century, and he's in the middle of the largest generation of the baby boomers. And this is his story about growing up in the 1950s in this country. And I don't know, I think I would have liked growing up in the 1950s. The 1960s weren't bad, the 1970s weren't bad. Those were great times. So, and again, his sense of humor it makes anything that he writes worth reading, and this is his memoir, so it's even more funnier than some of his other things. This is actually my personal copy because I love Bill Bryson so much. I loved the cover. I mean, you can't really go wrong. This is like the cover of my childhood, my backyard scenery. Love that sweatshirt. So I bought the book, and when I'm done reading it, I will donate it to the library. I've read it before. I'm rereading it now because it's well worth reading more than one time, and I think that the library patrons would probably enjoy it, so it'll be donated to the library as soon as I'm done. So there you have it. One of my favorite nonfiction authors, Bill Bryson. We have a good stack of his books here at the library, so if you haven't read any of them, or if you've read some and not others, you might want to put one on hold, and we'll get it ready for you for curbside pickup. So I hope you enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. It's going to be unlike any that I've ever lived through. There will be no parades, no big kickoffs to summer, but we've made it to Memorial Day weekend, and we can have small gatherings in our backyards and just enjoy the beautiful weather that is on tap for this weekend. So until next week, take good care and hope to see you soon at the library. But in the meantime, don't forget to check out our curbside service. Bye now.